Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're enjoying the channel and the series. This is going live out on the podcast for iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud as well. So if you have any questions before, during, or after, well, not before, but during and after, just send them in. Let us know your thoughts and what you'd like to go through. Now, on this video, on this podcast, I should say, and it's also on the YouTube channel and through the website as well, RevelatorAlf.com. I'm going to be discussing some latest news about the Harley world, motorcycles, all that kind of stuff. I'm also going to be talking about some of the issues that I've been facing with the recent podcasts and interviews which I've been doing as well. It's an interesting one. If you can hear that whining in the background, this is my dog as well. It's just come to join me as well. Maybe if I tempt him with a biscuit. Yeah, come on, have a look. Do you want to come up on there? There you go. Look, up. There you go. Look. There you go. And he's just had a biscuit. See, live for you. There we go. This is actually called. His name is Bailey, but it's Bobber Bailey. When I actually built my Bobber many years ago, he was just a little puppy, so I actually sat him on the solo seat. I've got some photos of him on there as well, and he's obviously a bit bigger now, and he's he's a bit too big to sit on the bike anymore, but if I could, I would definitely take him with me wherever I go. Anyway, enough talk about the dog and Bailey. Let's just talk about the news, what's going on in the Harley world. Well, not a great deal. I suppose there is, Screaming Eagle, Harley have produced a new upgrade part for the M8 engine, and we're talking up to 131 cubic inch, and I think 128 is another aspect as well. But do you know, I suppose I could ask the question, why? Why would you even bother? Why would you even go and spend the £6,000 or £7,000 for that? I mean, I have no idea. We're joined by Irons United. Hello, sir. Hello, sir, to you. I know these guys very well from the other channel. But anyway, they're joining live just to see how this thing goes. But anyway, we're talking bikes and we're talking about these upgrades that Harley have just produced. So why would you bother? Why would you even go and spend all that money on upgrading your engine to power that you're just never going to use? If you want to use that power, just go and get another bike. It's as simple as that. Go and get another bike that's meant for speed. Go and get a Kawasaki or a Suzuki or whatever. Go and get a 1 litre sports bike. If you're talking about speed and power, that's what you want, because the Harleys right now are producing more than enough grunt as it is. All you really want to have is a little bit of extra grunt, maybe a bit of extra throttle response, but that's about it. You don't really need 131 cubic inches under your bum, really. I think I'm going to have to let the dog out because I think he's going to get a bit nervous here, me talking. I think he's getting nervous about me talking into a microphone, and he's wondering what the hell is going on. I often ask that myself, what the hell am I doing? Speaking into a microphone, this blue thing, which makes me sound like a bit of a radio DJ. But there we go. That's the way we've all turned up. There we go. Look, I told you he's getting nervous. Let me let him out, and I'll come out. This is all going live, by the way. There we go. Out you go. Out. Go on, out you go. There we go. And he's back. Look at that. What an amazing live experience that was for you. Anyway, so as I say, this is going out on the podcast as well. You can get it all through the website links, RevelatorAlf.com. It's on SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes. Mike Esri, hello. Thank you for joining. So what I'm talking about is these recent upgrades by Harley Davidson. They're producing a lot more power and more torque and everything like that. I've talked about this in the past about reliability. If you add all these extra parts, how reliable is your bike going to be? I mean, we talk about this all the time, don't we? So as soon as you start messing around with your bike, your car, whatever it is, all of a sudden performance may go up, but only for short distances. If you want long distance reliability, just leave your bike alone. Leave it as stock as you can. Yes, make a few changes for sound, a little bit of performance, a bit of throttle response, and all that kind of good stuff. But actually, anything else, forget it. Just leave the bike alone. I was speaking to one of the other guys recently on one of their recent podcasts, and he was exactly the same opinion. If you're going to go long distance, if you want a bike that's reliable, that's going to munch the miles, just leave your bike alone. Do a few tinkering things in terms of the way it may look, but in terms of the actual engine, the drivetrain, the performance, just leave it alone. And I've got to say, I kind of agree. Now, if you want a bike just to blat around and have a bit of fun and just pop to the local pub, whatever, all that kind of stuff, or cafe or whatever, yeah, then fine, fair enough. But otherwise, you're going to have to, just leave it alone. Hold on one second. And there we go. The power of live streaming there. We just the dog got absolutely crazy. I think somebody's coming in to try and steal my Harley. Anyway, look, this is live biscuit eating on the channel as well. Look at that. You wouldn't get that anywhere else, would you? You wouldn't get that on a Matt Laidlaw channel, would you? Well, right. So here's good question coming in from Irons United. What is my current bike? Well, of course, everybody knows what my current bike is. It's a Harley Davidson Sport Glide Softail. Yeah, it's new. I know. Why did I go for a new bike? Well, normally I wouldn't go for a new bike, but I was just intrigued by the new Harley chassis and the new Harley engine. And I test rode them and thought, I'm going to take a punt on them. And I've never looked back since, really. Would I consider an old bike to do up? Yeah, absolutely. No problem. I love doing up old bikes. I love working on old bikes, customizing, all that kind of stuff. Done lots in the past. I suppose right now it's about time. I've talked about this as well. Time to do all this sort of stuff that I would like to do. But, in terms of building bikes and everything like that, I probably wouldn't go for the big custom job anymore. I'd probably look about just mild customization, maybe turning bikes into bobbers, chopping things off, making them lightweight, that kind of thing. But there we go. Anyway, Sarge, hello, good afternoon. Just a big hat on the Fat Bob, then saw you were live. Well, that's right. Yeah, look, don't let me keep you from the Fat Bob experience. I know you got a 114, but you upgraded it to a 117. Let me know what you think about the new engine upgrades coming out of Harley. Well, Screaming Eagle, I think, 131 cubic inch. I think 128 is the other option as well. Why? Do you think, Mike, do you think stage 1 would affect longevity? No, I don't think it would, actually. I think it's fine. I think you start messing around with everything afterwards, and let's not forget, it's not necessarily the stage upgrade you're doing, it's the parts which you're putting in as well. Let's not forget about it. Let's not discount that. If you're using tested parts, proven parts, especially from Harley, Screaming Eagle, fine. If you like, I don't know, off the top of my head, give me another name, SNS, let's say, for example. Yeah, proven parts. But if you start putting other parts that are not really suited or not really tested, then you might come into trouble. Who's doing the work? That's the other issue. Are they doing it properly? Lots of reliability issues don't actually come from the parts necessarily. It's actually coming from the who's doing the work, the quality of the work, and then also how you're riding the bike as well. Let's not forget, if you're talking about changing a stock engine and then changing it into, I don't want to say racing engine, but you know what I mean. You're actually starting to move the performance goalposts on that engine. Then all of a sudden you're almost stretching that engine a little bit. Now, Harley will always say that You're going to operate well within their limits of their engine. But they don't really give you a lot of warranty on these things now as well, especially if you start doing extra stuff. So why is that? If it's still well within the envelope, then you've got to ask, well, why would there be reliability issues? As a general rule, the more you go up, the more you start pushing up to the performance envelope of any machine, of any engine, no matter if it's a bike, car, boat, whatever, you're going to start impacting on it. As soon as you start revving an engine, a higher engine, if you start, speed, whatever, you're going to stress everything. And so it's not necessarily the stage upgrade, it's then what you're doing and how you're riding the bike, how hard you ride that bike as well. If you're riding well within the limitations of that bike, no problem at all. But there we go. Sarge, Stage 3 was pretty expensive, but this new engine is very expensive. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think I saw some prices for the 131 cubic inch stage upgrade. I think they're talking about up to $7,000. For that. No, I think, look, there's no problem with doing it. There's no problem with doing it. And, it's entirely up to you if you want to do it, of course. But it comes back to, why would you want to do it? What are you actually looking to get it? Now, dare I say it, is this just penis envy? Are we just looking at another bike and saying, oh, yeah, mine's bigger than yours, mine's more powerful than yours, and you're never actually going to use it? How many times, would people have these huge engines, but they still can't ride for toffee, But there we go. Just a point in the engine upgrades of the engine. If you do get the work done by Harley dealership using Harley parts and get it done in the first 60, then your engine is covered 3. Yeah, absolutely right. It's covered under warranty. 3 years or 2 years? I think it was 2 years, wasn't it? Could be 3 years. But yeah, of the first 60 days of purchase. But this comes to my original point. Why would that make a difference? Why would that make a difference if it's within the first 60 days or afterwards? That's where there's a bit of grey area here, and always has been on the warranties, and it will always be about, well, how reliable is it if you start doing these engine upgrades? We know they've had issues with the oil pump as well, but that's all been sorted, so people shouldn't worry about that so much. It's more about adding the performance, increasing the performance of your engine. To what end? To what end and to why? Why are you doing it? Now, is it purely that you want to feel that extra power? Fine, I got no problem with that at all. That's great, and all the power to you. Pardon the pun. But is it a case that you just want it because it's the latest thing, or you think that you're going to make your bike super powerful? Well, I'll say if power is your issue or speed is your concern, get another bike. Just go and get another bike. Don't worry about it. I think doing stage up to stage 3, stage 4, absolutely fine. But I say it depends how you ride your bike afterwards, and only time will tell whether one stage upgrade is going to affect reliability. But I think it's always going to be one of these cost-benefit analysis things of any upgrade that you do, or anything that you do to your bike or car or whatever it is. After 10,000 miles, you got like-for-like bike, one that's completely stock, one that's been upgraded, and they're both ridden by the same person, let's say, in the same style. That's never going to happen, so it's very hard to make a direct comparison. But overwhelmingly, it's not necessarily going to be the parts, if they're genuine parts, of course, and if they've been tested parts. It's actually going to be how they've been fitted, and then afterwards how the bike has been ridden. That's what we've got to consider, But anyway, listen. Let's. I was very intrigued when Matt Laidlaw started announcing. I mean, I'm sure others have announced this as well, but I'll be very interested to see what happens. I know he's doing a live show, or he's going to be a recorded show with the live wires as well. He's got a few live wires in. Look, he's a dealership. Matt Laidlaw is a dealership. He's in the business of selling Harley Davidsons and promoting Harley Davidson, and he may not speak objectively about them. He may do, I don't know, but he may not. he may not be speaking objectively about other brands. And I know he's come under quite a lot of criticism recently of his public disdain, let's say, for the Indian motorcycle. He may have a point, he may not have a point. But, if you're getting your information from a Harley dealership, then you're not necessarily getting independent advice. You're getting first-hand experience, but you're not getting necessarily independent advice. There's always going to be a bias. It's just like somebody who starts quoting, a study or a research project, and then sometimes you've got to question the bias of that research project because who's funding it? If you're testing a drug, let's say, and the research is sponsored by a pharmaceutical company, then there's going to be a bit of bias there, no matter how they say it is. So if he's saying that these performance upgrades are really great and they're fantastic, I would say that's great. It's good to hear. But let's have some independent advice. Let's see what else happens. And the problem is it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell with anything that is being done to your bike is going to have a negative effect down the road. And also, let's not forget on resale value and if you're going to get that money back. This has always been the big question about Harley Davidson. Well, not even Harley Davidson, but anytime you spend money on a bike or a vehicle, will you get that money back if you ever have to sell the bike or the vehicle? Chances are you won't. Chances are that money's going down the drain. Now, if you intend to keep the bike, fine. There's no question here. But anyway, look, this is... I wanted to go live stream. I wanted to do this podcast because I think there's a lot of movement in this. Harley Davidson starting to produce parts that are on the M8 engines, and now we've had 2 or 3 years of those, and maybe there's going to be a little bit more of a push to get proving these engines, getting them, performing better, for some people. I think just having better accessories for a lot of the soft tails, certainly the Sport Glide is a better way to go. If we're looking at the future, then what are we looking at? Are we looking at these new engines that are coming out in the Pan America and the Bronx? Should more be said about that? I mean, look, this is so frustrating about the Pan America and the Bronx because they haven't really given us any information, proper information. On it, people are starting to wonder, are these bikes ever going to come out? Are they ever going to give us any proper data to feed off as well? Speaking to a dealership last week or the week before, and they were saying, well, in the UK, we're not even going to see this Pan American at the earliest until October, possibly. So, it's an interesting one. I mean, Sarge, you're saying here, if I'm lucky, I have 10 years riding left of riding. So I want to get as much torque as possible for the grim factor, and the bike will be passed on to my son. Look, there's no problem with that at all, and I totally get that. I totally understand that. But even to a certain point, there's got to be a point where you think, all right, that's enough. I don't need to do any more. So right now, you're on a fat bob. So you've upgraded upstage to a 117 engine. Or performance size. Okay, so you've done that, but would you take it any further? Would you have taken it any further if the option was there? You could have done. You could have gone to a stage 4. Would you have done it? Would other people do that? So I'd be interested to see. I don't have the data, so I can't really say, but it'd be interesting to see how many people actually go beyond a 3 and a 4, or do they go for these huge upgrades? I would say the percentage has got to be quite small. I suppose it also depends on the market as well. Perhaps in the United States there's more of and Canada there's more of a market to do that. I would say perhaps in Europe we're less likely to do that, or around the world less likely to do that. Maybe it's a cost issue. Maybe it's a it's a roads issue, it's a riding pleasure issue. But you've got the big open roads in the United States. You get on the motorway and you can just point in one direction for hundreds of miles or so, it seems. Whereas in the UK or around Europe, that's you're never going to be able to do that. So maybe having that that bigger power just gives people that extra confidence. But the reliability of the M8 engine is proven to be a lot better now. Of course, it had the issues, it had the teething problems. So it could all backfire. The damage that could be done by these huge upgrades and the 131 or 128 or whatever it is could be huge. It could be huge if some problems start developing from that. And it could, bring out the scaremongers. I've only released a video today talking about scaremongering on the Harley Davidson. And if that is the case, then all of a sudden you're gonna send, you've taken one step forward, but now you're taking a few steps back. Hopefully that won't be the case, but you never know. You never know with this. Will Harley do a talk cam on the new bike that hasn't been broken in? Will Harley do a talk cam on a new? You can take. You can do any stage upgrade before you even buy the bike. You can have it already done. The running in process will be exactly the same. However, that's the thing. Would I suggest anybody does that? I mean, I suppose you're talking to the wrong person. I would not suggest anybody does that initially. I would say, look, get 1,000 miles under your belt, let's say, or get a few weeks, let's say, of riding, and see what you feel. Now, there is this other point, as Sarge was saying as well, that you got the 60 days for the warranty issue as well. So that's the other aspect you've got to consider. If you want to do these upgrades and you're concerned about warranty, you're going to have to bite the bullet really and just do it within the first 60 days. But in terms of actually the running in, the breaking in of the bike, no, it'll be exactly the same. That'll be exactly the same. That won't change. No matter what upgrade you've done. And indeed, many people do jump in with both feet with a stage 2 as soon as they buy it. There's no problem with that. The problems were with the early M8 engines. The first year, 2017, especially on the Taurus, they had a few issues with those. There was batching issues of the first couple of batches that came out. You had machining issues, cast issues, of the casings, all that kind of stuff. But that's all been rectified anyway. Anyway, so we've. It'd be interesting to see what happens with these 131, 128 engines, or these upgrades. But say, I keep on hearing rumors about lots of new accessory and upgrades coming through in 2020. I had heard about these performance upgrades, but for me, if it doesn't really affect the Softails that much, I'm not overly bothered by it. I think, the 107, 140, even the 117, you've seen my videos before. I keep on saying it would be great to have a 117 as a stock engine in the Softail range. I think they missed a trick with a Lowrider S doing that. I think they missed a trick even with the Fat Bob. A couple of the others, I think, in many ways, having that, you should have, for me, each bike should have the ability to have a 107, 114, 117 as order. You just go in and say, yeah, I want that bike in that engine. Thanks very much. And if it takes a couple of extra weeks for the bike to come, so be it. But at least you know what you're getting. Now, that brings me on to the other thing as well, which we talked about recently, and quite a few comments have been coming up about parts, ordering parts for your bike from Harley Davidson, and they're taking an age to come. They're taking so long to come. Dealerships are getting frustrated. Here in the UK, they're getting frustrated, as well as or around the world as well. Actually, there isn't really an answer to this. There isn't really an answer to why lots of parts are taking so long. People start speculating. People start wondering, what? Why? What is the big issue here? It begs the question: what the hell are Harley playing at? Why is there an area? Is there a problem in the supply chain? What about the communication to the customer and to the dealership about these things? Sometimes dealerships are not even getting good service from Harley themselves. They've even suggested that customers go direct to Harley Davidson to seek resolution on issues as well. what the hell is going on there? Now, and if Harley dealerships are having issues, what about independents as well? Because if you want your stock parts or your replacement, or let's say upgraded parts of Screaming Eagle, whatever, and they're not coming, there is an issue there. There's an issue to probably investigate, and maybe Harley needs to get on the case a little bit more, and be better, do better, improve. And it's not just about bikes. It's not just about the dealership experience. It is always about the whole package, and after sales service and after sales customer service is got to be right on top of their priority. So many of these companies these days, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a British thing or an American thing, I don't know, whatever, but as soon as they've got you through the door and they've got you as a customer, it's almost like they don't care. In fact, what they do, they give much better deals to new customers, and the older customers are still paying, higher rates or being treated like, not great at all. You get it all the time. You get like phone contracts or, mobile phone contracts or whatever, or satellite TV contracts, or, utilities, whatever. New customers, they give great service to, and just to entice them through the door. But as soon as they've got you, that's it, And it's exactly the same with Harley, and I'm sure any other brand as well. But I wonder how many other brands have this amount of customer interaction with dealerships and with the brand themselves to come back and start asking for changes on the bike. I don't think any other brand has it, nowhere near to the degree as well. So that's why people go out of Harley Davidson and they go into external suppliers of parts. And this feeds back into the reliability of engines to say, okay, well, you start putting performance parts on your bike, will they necessarily work? Will they necessarily keep the bike in balance? And that's the thing, really. But anyway, look. We could talk about this until we're blue in the face, of course. But anyway, so that's the big news. So there is going to be other news for more accessories coming out of the Softail range. I've been given a heads up on that. I don't think it's anything exciting, really. I think 2020 is going to be a bit of a duff year, certainly until the new 2021 range is being launched. Obviously, their focus is all on the live wire, and also trying to entice us, trying to dangle a carrot with the Pan America initially, and the new liquid cooled engine that they get, the 1250 engine, and then the 975 for the Bronx. I definitely think it's a way forward for Harley Davidson to do that. I definitely think in terms of the engine, the liquid cooled engine, and some and the amount of people. This is a problem. I think there's already a misunderstanding here and a misappropriation of data and desires on the Pan America. This is going to be an adventure bike. People are already talking about wanting high performance and high torque values for the bike. Can I just say this, as an adventure bike rider for many years, an off-road dirt bike rider, you do not need that power. That power is going to be detrimental to you if that's all you're concerned about. That's all you're concerned about. Okay, you don't need it. You need a balanced bike. You need a bike sufficient power and good suspension, and obviously the electronics and everything like that. Having beast-like power on a bike, an off-road bike, doesn't necessarily need it. Now, if you're talking about using that bike for, munching up the miles on the highway, well, again, no adventure bike needs all that power. You need sufficient power, yeah, but you don't have to have crazy torque values. Anthony Baker, here we go. Oi, oi! And he knows me all too well. Hello, Anthony. I know. How's the sound? Do you like the sound? I'm going to do a bit of a Barry one. Do you like the sound? How's the sound? There you go. Can you? And this is why I've got this spit thing here as well. Anyway, how's the sound, everybody? Let me know what you think about the sound as well. I probably need to soundproof the room a little bit to make it a little bit more kind of studio-like, you know what I mean? But anyway, look, Sarge, I've been waiting 3 months for my tyres. I know you've had an issue with getting no, your Scorcher tyres. No, they're not Scorchers on your Fat Bob. They're Dunlops, aren't they? And so no, you were talking about you can't get them. They want to give you a tyre with different tread pattern from the front. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't know if it's just me being anal, but I like my tyres to match. And even if you've got a part worn tyre on the rear, but your front tyre is screwed. I used to mix and match your tyres all the time, but you end up getting out of sync with your tyres, and you end up finding that you keep on going backwards and forwards from your tyre supplier just to keep on changing tyres at different rates. I'd rather just take the hit, have 2 new tyres on them, and I want them matching. I want tread patterns to match. I want the performance to match as well. And anyway, there we go. Jorg, is that Jorg Schenk? Is that you? Hello, how are you? How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to hear you. Sonic 747, quality microphone you have there. So I do. Do you know what? Christmas present. There we go. Somebody liked me out there. But they realised that I was going to be doing a lot more podcasty type things, so they dug deep and got it out there. Yeah, so I was using I'm not sure if you can see the one at the back there. I was using that's a Samson condenser mic for a few years when I was doing my radio broadcast and when I was doing my podcasting as well many years ago. But I do videos with a camera. Not sure what you're saying there. Oh, here we go. Right, okay, so am I doing more videos on the bike? Yes, there's a lot more videos coming out on the bike. There's a lot more camera videos using my action cams, really. Basically, I use GoPros and drift really for my bike. So there's a lot more stuff. There's a lot more variety coming on the channel as well. So there's a lot of content, a lot of informational videos that I wanted to put out, which I've done now. They're all stored. There's lots of new variety coming out in the next week or so. We're going to start recording a lot more. Going to be back out on the road. So I'm, still out every day. The problem is when you're trying to record out and about on the bike, you kind of have to have pretty decent weather or clear weather because otherwise the quality is just really poor. And that's the problem. You get all crud getting up on the lens of the camera. So you need to have a relatively clear day for that to work, really. So there's lots of only the left channel of the state. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I don't know. On your bike, only the left channel only the left channel works. Oh, you're talking about the audio. Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. It's stereo mic. I have no idea. Sorry, that's possibly a tech question. Somebody out. George, stereo works. Stereo works. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah. So there will be a lot more videos coming out. Riding videos. I do have more endurance videos coming out, or endurance rides planned. They're going to be shorter but more entertaining type of endurance videos as well. So there's lots coming. As I say, the winter was always going to be a bit more about information, about discussion, and the next one is that. So yeah. Just stay tuned. There'll be lots more. Right, and the same. I like to change the tyres at the same time with the same pattern. I think I've got a bit of OCD. I'm not happy about it. Okay, Dunlop say they don't know when a new battery will be made. I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it? That's just crazy. I don't know why. They make batches and then they seem to discontinue those batches. Or, it beggars belief. I don't know. But say Avon Cobras seem to have the consensus out there. The Cobras are, It's one of those things. So, Sonics, you're saying it's probably Georgia Shank has a defective right speaker. So, I assume, Sonics, you'll get me through stereo. I assume that's all working. But anyway, I don't know why. This is all set up for stereo. Now, it could be a YouTube-y thing. I don't know. But anyway, look. So, that's so there's lots more stuff coming on the channel. Lots more variety, lots more riding videos, lots more all that sort of stuff. I don't know, George. I don't know. No, everything else works. I really can't answer you. I don't know. Sorry, just have one finger in your ear and just block out the sound. Then, or that's all I can suggest. But anyway, so. But that's it. There's lots more videos coming. Lots more. Possibly not as many tech videos coming about the Softail Sport. I might throw one in every now and again. Thank you very much, George. Thank you very much. He likes my videos. Thank you. I've been debating whether doing the tech videos on the Harleys has any legs in it. And I know a lot of people are subscribed based upon those, about the information, and I'm going to keep on trying to produce those as well. And I'm constantly digging up new information and new ways to deliver that information to you. But there comes a point where you think, well, there's only so much that you can give. There's only so much out there that is going to be relevant, to a lot of people. Now, I could talk about, changing pads and changing fork oil and all that kind of stuff. And look, those videos will be coming out because I have programmed a whole series of videos throughout the whole year, would you believe, until the end of 2020, to discuss different tech issues. And certainly you'll see a lot more of those coming up in the next few weeks as well, because they're already filmed, already programmed in. But as I say, I wanted to add more variety to the channel, and I wanted to, expand on the discussion issues. I wanted to expand on the riding issues, of Harleys and on sport glides, going to different things, riding to different areas, showing people a lot about, where I ride and all that sort of stuff. So it's an interesting stage the channel is at. It's about trying to grow, trying to just have fun with it, and also just trying to keep the momentum going, which has clearly happened over the last year. But it can be a bit tough at times, trying to know what is the best thing to do in terms of the videos. I've always had this mindset, so I'm going to try and produce the videos that I enjoy producing, and the discussion topics that I like to have. And I like doing live streams, and I like doing podcasts as well. So there's going to be, the variety there as well. I put on the Patreon site a while ago. I know some of you don't like this Patreon thing as well, but it's all extra content that you can help to support the channel. If you don't want to, support the channel in that respect, I don't have an issue with that. I'm not saying that everybody has to support the channel through this Patreon site. Everybody's still going to get the same content that I would normally produce via YouTube, and that's absolutely free. I do all this for free. Everything goes from the website. It's all free, but there are the links there. If you want to support the channel or want to support the development of it, then it's all there for anybody to do that. I know some people don't like it. I know some people have unsubscribed because of that. But it's one of those things. Now, but some exclusive information will be put out on the Patreon site. Some exclusive videos will be put out on there. There is all the exclusive videos are on the Cocoscope channel as well. You can go and adopt to that if you want to see all the videos first of all. But it's one of those things, it has to, I produce all this freely, and I produce all this, and I try and produce regular content on a daily basis. That's the issue. Trying to produce regular content on a daily basis. And it's not easy. It's not easy producing one video a week. Never mind, 7 or 8, 10 videos a week. So it's a challenge, and it's getting that support to have the infrastructure there, and also to enable me to go out and, let's say, film every day on the bike. Let's say that all, you start incurring a lot of expenses as well. So that's what the Patreon there. No, nobody's signed up to the Patreon account. Nobody's donated any money yet or anything like that. All I'm saying is it's there just in case people want to and help. But say, if you don't want to, there's no pressure for anybody to do that. There's no pressure for anybody to sponsor this channel or do anything. It's all about, sharing information, sharing experiences, and that's what I do. Ever since I started this particular YouTube channel, I've been doing YouTube for quite a while, quite a few years, off and on. But this particular YouTube channel was really about just sharing my rides, sharing my off-road rides. Then it got into sharing my experiences and sharing, and it's been a progression and evolution through it. You can go onto the YouTube channel. If you go onto videos, on the top right, I think it says sort, and you can go from the newest or the oldest. If you go to the oldest, you'll see the very first YouTube channel videos which I was putting on, and they're purely just helmet cam videos of me riding around. And I think there's some audio on there, but that's about it. And then it soon came in where I was just sort of commentating on what I was doing, what I was riding, and then it sort of evolved from there. But fundamentally, this channel and the videos that I produce about the Harleys, about everything, it's all about sharing the information that I have with you. If I hear about anything, I want to share it with you. And if it helps you, great. And if, and any knowledge that I apply from all the years riding that I've had, if I apply that to the Harleys and any information that I can gig up from the Harleys and the Sport Glide and the Softails, if I can share that and that helps you, that's all the better. So here we go. Oh, here we go. Gesto and Lane. Gesto and Lane. What a great name. Hello there. Thank you for joining. A Motorcyclist Diary. That's really good. What have you got your own channel, have you? Oh, brilliant. That sounds good. Yeah, we're all trying to do the same thing, mate. Yeah, we applaud you. Well, thank you very much. It's very difficult to produce good quality videos regularly when you earn no money from it. We don't. Yeah, it's difficult. I sometimes say to people that, and many YouTubers will probably, or content creators, whatever they call themselves these days, they would say the same thing. I suppose it really depends what your main objective is for doing YouTube. I think if you go in and say, I want to earn money from it, then I think you probably need to look at doing other stuff. Don't look at YouTube as a way of earning money. I think you got to, just like anything in life, you just got to enjoy what you're doing and enjoy what you're talking about, enjoy making videos. I actually enjoy the process of podcasts, of radio, of audio recording. I enjoy the process of making videos, but more than anything, I just enjoy the process of sharing some of my experiences. Not all, but some of my experiences. And it's, I've always said that the way I've always seen my channel, or this channel, is about, it's a bloke who rides bikes and he does stuff and he shares experiences. That's about it. There's nothing really, any grand plan about it. I just, and it's about, I've always said that biker's life less ordinary. It's just my life riding bikes and riding Harleys and whatever, sharing that information and sharing those times. And if people dig it, great. And if they don't, well, that's all I can say. Yeah, we're going to do multiple countries this year and uploading them. Hoping to get 1,000 subs so we can go live en route and show people the amazing scene. Yeah, look, that's great. I mean, I actually like these kind of touring videos, and I think sometimes the only problem I have with touring videos is that sometimes they're after the event, and there isn't that real kind of day-to-day engagement. Whereas some channels do day-to-day uploads. And that's really good. And going live, I think, would be a great thing to do. No, we do it for fun. Our job is filming and photography. We thought we'd apply it to bike and life for fun. Yeah, look, it's great. Look, and that for me is great as well. I come from a photographic background as well, and I'm a writing background, magazines and publishing and all that sort of stuff. But always that's on the side. My full-time occupation has always been something else, but I've always enjoyed it, and over the years I've just applied it more and more and more to the biking sector, or the motorcycling sector, and then it's obviously come into making videos and podcasts. But it's a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing to keep people engaged. I think it's a very difficult thing to make stuff that people may or may not want to watch, and I think it really depends on the type of person you are. It depends on the type of content you are, but it also depends on the age which you're at as well, and who is going to be watching your stuff. Younger people may have a better grasp of this than us, than us older people. But that doesn't necessarily mean that older people can't do it, because they can. It's just about getting out there and doing your own thing and making your own videos and sharing your own world. And, I'm a great believer, if you're only after subs or only after views or only after money with YouTube, it's not going to work. For me, it's not going to work. And, you first and foremost, you've just got to be the kind of person that enjoys the process. And if you enjoy the process and you do it as a hobby, let's say, if you just do it as a hobby, great. And if it takes off, great. So many of these YouTubers get lost in doing this sort of stuff, and they give up. And they give it because they're chasing a dream, and it just never happens. It's but it's an interesting one. I mean, Anthony here says it's a good demographic to aim for. Look, I think there's lots of demographics to aim for. If I had like little people next to me, I could split the channel up and say, little people, you go and attract all the kids. And then if I had my partner involved, I'd say, okay, you could attract all the women. Okay, so that would be another demographic. And then if I had my father, he could attract all the OAPs. Okay, so if you could do that, you can't, but you're never going to be able to appeal to everybody. So don't even try. Just enjoy what you do and just go for that group of people that may be interested and may think along the same lines as you do. Because otherwise there's and it doesn't matter also, I know I'm going off the point here with the motorcycle and stuff, but I don't think it matters actually what kind of channel you're doing. Or what kind of target audience you may think, or whatever it is. Many of you know, and Anthony knows, that I do football stuff as well, related to football stuff and sports stuff as well. I love doing that. But there's a wide cross-section of people who are just focused in on a particular appreciation, or lack of in our case, of a sports team. Okay, so that's, or a particular sport. So you can have a wide demographic there of people, and both genders, but it's predominantly going to be men, isn't it? I mean, they're male, that's, we know that. But it's the same principle here. You don't actually just target a particular group or age group or demographic. You provide decent content, hopefully content. And they keep on saying to all the research I've done about YouTube and doing this kind of stuff and providing this information to you guys, it's actually about, it's not about, this whole YouTube mystique. It's about the content. What is the content? What you're producing? And forget about this. Forget about the microphone. Forget about the quality of the camera and all that sort of nonsense. Do you know what it is? It's about what's coming out your mouth. It's what you're saying and how you're saying it. And that's the most important thing. Everything else, because so many people get caught up in this whole YouTube, I've got to buy the most expensive camera, I've got to have the best lighting and all that kind of stuff. And expensive microphones. Load of rubbish. Absolute load of rubbish. Smartphone and, a microphone that you get with your smartphone anyway. That's all you need. YouTube account. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. If you just want to produce content. And do you know what? Some of the best content out there is from people with just smartphones doing it. I make videos, for this channel, sometimes just using my phone. Not so much now at the moment, but every now and again, if I'm out and about doing something, if I want to do, let's say, a quick 5-minute live stream, just do it on my phone. Easy. Done. You know, because you're just getting the information. It depends what kind of information you're going for. Now, here's the other thing as well about overproducing the videos and the content. I think that overproduction of content actually interferes with the message that's being delivered. You know, people start adding music, so, you know, all these fancy graphics, all this, you know, B-roll, which people keep on going on about. Actually, you know, what people need to do is just concentrate on the message, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, look, here we go. I guess you're on lane and most likely diary. Yeah, actually, we travel on our bikes for months on end for fun. Putting it on YouTube was just the next step. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it'd be really good to listen to as well. But anyway, look, so the channel is growing. The channel will change. I'm still going to try and produce the same kind of content, but I want to vary it up a little bit, and I want it to reflect a lot of the stuff that I always do on my bike, but I don't necessarily share that. So I want to share a little bit more. I want to share more of that, but I want to show people more about the kind of rides that I do and, you know, where I go, and talk about lots of different aspects, not just about Harley, Softail or Sport Glide tech issues, you know, which has been great to have or to do, but, you know, obviously have a little bit more going on there as well. Now, this kind of brings me on to my other thing as well, about the whole live streaming interviews, which I've been doing with other YouTubers out there, and for the podcast. Now, it's an interesting thing. I've had some really good feedback from lots of people who have watched them, and they've been really great. And the guys who I've spoken to, guys and girls who I've spoken to and interviewed so far, have been fantastic. They've been really good. You know, I sent them emails just out of the blue, and they responded, and they were, you know, really well up for it. And it's been really good to speak to these people direct. So far, I've spoken to D-Cycle. Go if you're into your Sport Glide and Softails, go and check out D-Cycle channel as well. He's really good. They also do a podcast, 5 Dirty Bikers, I think it's called. So that's pretty good. Mason Moyer, who I knew from years ago, she wrote a couple of articles for me from my magazine many years ago. She's really good. There, I did Hollywood from Insane Throttle Bike and News. The Black Dragon Biker TV. Done. I've got another one coming up with Bike and Bird. Done. I did the Motor Barista from the Australia as well. So there have been quite a few. Somebody sent me a message and said, "Why aren't you doing British YouTubers?" And I didn't want to give an answer. Or your motorcycle YouTubers, you know, got this motorcycle channel. Why haven't you interviewed them? And I didn't want to give an answer. The reality is this: I contacted everybody. I've every week I've been sending out emails to people left, right, and centre, all over YouTube, but not even just on YouTube, from different forms of motorcycling, and they just haven't come back to me. Nobody's even answered my emails. Nobody's even answered direct requests. And that is from British. This also includes, because they've been also from around the world. Also includes from British YouTubers over there who just totally blanked me. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that at all, because sometimes people get caught up in this whole collaboration thing as well. Oh, we can't, I'll only collaborate with you if you've got the similar kind of numbers that I've got, and then your subs can come over to my channel, my subs can come over to you, so it's like a mutually beneficial thing. But if I've got 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers, I'm not going to go to you because you only got 1,000 subscribers. They get brainwashed into thinking that actually this whole podcast thing or whatever is about collaboration. It isn't. It's about interviewing people. It's about getting to know people, how people think, why they think, and everything like that. And if if you want to call it a collaboration, it's fine, but I don't call it that. I call that an interview. And that is the issue that I've had with trying to speak to people. I don't care if you've got 10 subscribers or 15 subscribers. In fact, I don't care if you're on YouTube at all. In fact, I've opened up this Oh My Harley podcast to other people. I'm going to be doing face-to-face interviews, the 12 Dirty Dozen questions, to just normal riders, the Softails and Sport Glides and whatever, and just Harley riders and motorcyclists in general, I'm going to be opening up to as well. If people want to do that, if you want to come onto the channel, if you want to do a face-to-face, or you want to do a video interview for Oh My Harley or Oh My Podcast, get in touch via the website, RevelatorAlf.com. Let me know. Send me an email and we'll hook it up. It's very easy to do. We just do a video interview. I do it all the time for the podcast. I do it all the time for the other channel that I'm involved with, the football channel, Irons United. So it's very easy to do. So and this is not, for me, it's never been about just interviewing people who've made it on YouTube. That's a load of nonsense. What a load of rubbish that is. This is about interviewing just people like you and I, sharing experiences, sharing information, and just having another perspective out there. Because we can all start getting caught up in our own world here about what we ride and what we do and what we think, our own experiences. And that's the whole point. The whole point for me is YouTube is actually about getting more information out there and sharing it and building up your own little body of friends, of contacts, if you want to use that, and your community, if you want to use that word. That's the word I was trying to look for. And then you start feeding into the same thing. You start building up some kind of mass of opinion there, and that's what the whole point with the podcast is. And if people don't want to be involved, that's fine. But if they're just not responding, then I think that I think they're missing the point here. They're missing the point of what this is about. Now, some, I've got to say, a couple have come back to me and said, "Look, I'm really just concentrating on my own channel, and I'm just a bit too busy." Got no problem with that at all. Or if people come back to you and said, "No, I'm not interested," that's absolutely fine as well. But a couple I've actually tried to contact in the past for other things, not heard anything at all. So, rest assured, if you send, and this is why I say to lots of people all the time or on the channel, if you want to get in contact with me or ask a question, do it via the website, RevelatorAlf.com, and I don't want to keep on promoting it, but do it via the website. Send an email, because I always pick up my emails. That's probably the one thing that I'm on my laptop, because I work on my laptop quite a lot, and it will just pop up and I can answer it there and then. And you will get an answer. It might take me a couple of days or whatever, but you will get an answer for those emails. Right now, anyway. But anyway, look, I can't believe no one answered you. Yeah, that's insane. Very lazy of them to not even bother letting you know they can't do it. It always happens. Yeah, look. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I think there's some people who will just help. I remember I had my motorcycle magazine, and it was very interesting to me. And I'll let you a little insight into what was happening. I was sending out feelers, this is basically what you do when you're publishing. YouTube is no different. It's just publishing. It's just the same, just a different medium, but you're doing the same thing. You send out feelers, you send out inquiries, requests, media requests, whatever, interview requests all the time. And the people who were most interested in speaking to me were the ones usually from the United States, and the ones usually who had a product or a business that they wanted to promote. If they wanted to promote something, they'd be all over you. They'd be like, "Yeah, we'll speak to you." And the ones from this country and around the world, they were less likely. They wanted to speak to you. Some did, but a lot didn't. And I'll also tell you another thing: the people who weren't in business, they were just like you and I, just normal people. Those are some of the hardest people to interview or get information out of, because nobody wanted to speak to a magazine. Nobody wanted to speak to anybody. It's almost like, well, I've got Facebook, no, I don't need you, or I've got my own social media, I don't need you. They're missing the trick. They're missing the point. The point is that if anybody's shown interest in you or what you've got to say or what you're trying to promote, then you snap the hand off, you bite the hand off, because it's just a free way of advertising or getting your message across. It doesn't matter if they've only got a 10 audience or a 20 person audience. The whole point is you're getting to another 20 people. And that's why I always see about speaking to people, about, about interviewing people. It is essentially just about people. You're getting a message across. Anyway, so that's it. So the podcasts are, the Oh My Harley podcast. They are still going. There's a couple more coming out as well. I'm still putting out feelers out all the time, putting out requests, but I have had a lot of people not come back to me and say that is a direct answer to why I haven't done British YouTubers. It's because nobody's come back to me. This is as simple as that. There will be more face-to-face, especially as it starts heating up and more people get out on their bikes. Start putting it out there, that we'll do face-to-face videos as well. So make those a little bit more entertaining as well. But anyway, right, so, that's it for today. So there are lots of videos coming out on the Harley software, on the Sport Glide coming out. Quite a few more technical ones being published. There are lots more discussion videos coming out, a lot more Harley history videos coming out as well, more discussion type topics, a lot more Q&A videos coming out, the motorcycle confessionals. I found those quite interesting. I did a whole batch of videos because I got a whole series of questions come through. And I thought, you know what, let's just have a bit of fun with them. And I think it's very interesting, the kind of questions that I get sometimes. And so anyway, so I've put those out. So there's lots there. But anyway, if you've, if there's any particular type of content that you want to see or anything, just send me an email. Let us know what you'd like to see from the channel. It doesn't necessarily mean that I will do it, but certainly, it would be good to see what you're wanting to see as well. Because fundamentally, it's going to be what I want to see, but also what you may want to watch as well. And I suppose this is a little bit of market research as well. It's about data gathering, isn't it? It's about trying to find out what you guys want. It's no different from what Harley do to us, See you, Mike. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm going to be signing off now anyway. But thanks for joining. I say it was a bit of an impromptu video. It is. This live stream, so it's about podcasts as well, checking the sound quality and showing you all my microphone as well. So anyway, there we go. So it's lots more coming, lots more videos coming. As I say, lots more different types of videos. Let me know what you want to do, what you want to hear, what kind of content you want to see. But also, if you want to appear on a video, if you want to have a video chat talking about a topic in particular, or you want to share your experience with me about your Harley riding or your Softail or your M8 engine, and if you want to discuss it, get in touch with me and then we can talk about it. If you want to talk, if you're a YouTuber as well, you want to talk about your motorcycling experiences and what you do and how you do it, then yeah, get in touch and we'll make a video as well, because I think that'd be really interesting for people who just watch YouTube and don't actually do it themselves. What the process is behind and all sort of the struggles that you have and the technical aspects. So many, you would not be surprised. You would be surprised possibly. The amount of technical hurdles that you have to learn and you have to overcome when you do this kind of thing. And so many videos that I make that you have a failure along the way. So you've got, let's say seemingly hours and hours of videos, footage, and then you can't use it. So it happens occasionally. We all have one of those days. Anyway, right. Gasso and Lane, Motorcycle Story. Good day to you. Thanks for joining in today. Thanks to everybody who's been listening. And if you want to catch us on the podcast, you can go to SoundCloud, Spotify, or iTunes for Revelator Alf. All the links are via the website, so go check that out as well. You can obviously check this out on the live streams playlist on YouTube as well. All the information is freely available on the website, RevelatorAlf.com. As I say, freely available. Nothing. I don't charge for anything. I've got some books up there which I've written as well. Yes, I've written books as well. And they're all available on Amazon. So you can get those as well. There's also a mini book, I suppose, I wrote about the endurance ride, which I did last year as well. That's more of an in-depth description of what was going on the ride and how I was feeling as well. So that's quite an interesting read. So go check that out if you want. But those are obviously all chargeable ones. Not much, but they are chargeable. And as I say, there's a Patreon account. If you're interested in supporting there, absolutely fine, no problem. If you don't, then don't. It's not an issue. And also the Cocoscope, if you want to see the early videos, the exclusive videos, if you like, before they're released publicly on YouTube, and then you can go there and adopt the channel, and you pay a small fee, and then everything like that. But there you go. Everything is for free if and when you want to view it. Right, so that's it. That's me out. Hope you enjoyed everything today, and don't forget to tell all your friends. Tell all your friends about the channel. No, here we go. Just trying to find. Here we go. Tell all your friends about the channel, RevelatorAlf.com, as well, the website. Anyway, I will see you on the next video, podcast, live stream, whatever it is. Please like, share, subscribe. Toodles.